Hi. Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Hello. How are you? All right. I'm just trying to get my iPad hooked up here. See if I did this right. I did it. Yeah, I have to turn it like this. Go up here. Okay. Here we are. Hello, friends. How are you today? All right. I'm going to put this down for a sec. If you're watching the replay, comment and let me know that you're watching the replay. I'll try to comment back to you after this video is done. What I want to talk about today, I'm going to start out by talking about how is your challenge going. I want you to tell me, for those of you who are doing the free 5-day Eat to Live challenge along with us, let me know in the comment section some of your wins or just one of your wins that you can think of that's happened to you this time. It's Wednesday now, so we've been doing hello from Tennessee. I'm thinking this is Melissa. Melissa and the family. Hello, dear. Victoria, hello, my dear, from Missouri. Happy to see you. Your smiling faces. So glad to see you all these familiar, wonderful faces. If you're doing the challenge, oh, that is a win for sure that hubby is doing it with you. That's a huge win because we just, those are our evil plans, right? Like do it ourselves and then influence those around us. Yeah. Tell me some of your other wins. Hi, Bernie. Glad to see you again today from Washington State. Tell me some of your other wins. They don't have to be scale related either. Just did you learn anything about yourself? How's it going? Let's talk about how the challenge is going for you. Do you have any challenges on the challenge? Anything you want to ask questions about? Do you need any help with anything? Yeah. Yesterday you were Melissa, today you're Facebook user. Okay. Hubby's with you. That's amazing. Hello, Eloise. Happy to see you. And also, if you can share this video on your Facebook feeds, it will help me and it will help others if they watch this kind of content too, right? To hear about Eat to Live and how do we keep going? How do we stay consistent with healthy eating and how do we lose that weight that we're looking to lose? Yay, Chantal, you love salads again. That's such great news. They can be challenging sometimes, right? Deb, I'm so happy to see you. She says, hi from Nebraska. The challenge is going exceptionally well. Loving the food. I'm so glad to hear that. I think you probably cut off and you didn't finish your sentence there, but I'm so glad to hear that the challenge is going really well for you. Yes, not craving sugar is the win. There we go. That is a huge win. I love it. Thank goodness for those nutrients, right? Hey, Mama. I'm so happy to see you, Rochelle. Oh, I got a sticker on my skirt. Of course I do. Stickers everywhere. Hi, Shelly from Asheville. Hello, Patty from Napa. Happy to see you, lovelies. So we've got some good wins from the challenge. Let me know any other wins that you have. We have a lot to talk about today, so I'm going to jump into it. Today's topic, now this is day 3 of the live workshop that I'm putting on. It's a 4-day workshop, so tomorrow is my last workshop of this challenge. And then you guys are going to do Friday, and Friday is going to be awesome. It's your last day of the challenge, and then we're all going to hang out Saturday, Sunday, do our weekend, and then on Monday, the Eat to Live family opens up. Okay, so if you've been hearing the buzz about the Eat to Live family, interested in joining, it opens up on Monday, okay? Facebook user says, I still think about chocolate. I know that's a tough one, isn't it? Some folks have relief, some folks not so much. We just keep working on that one. Hubby says his win was he didn't buy beer yesterday. That's a win. We'll take that one. Bernie said, I made my salad this morning before I hopped in the shower. Perfect. That's actually my technique too. I always make my salad first thing in the morning. And then the only thing that I have to do is get myself to eat it when it's lunchtime. And that's easier than having to make it and eat it at lunchtime. Hello from Florida. I hope you're doing okay and not too much damage where you're at. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let me get my iPad up. Today we are talking, oops. Oh, I just messed it up. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Today we are talking about how to get over all or nothing thinking. This is one of my favorite topics to teach on. And am I nutritarian enough? I have salad in my teeth and it's bugging me. You guys know the struggle, don't you? I don't know where it is. Oh well, I'll just be bugged. So this is what we're going to talk about today. I wanted to first talk about some wins. We went over that, so that's good. We checked that off. Now, day 3, we've got tomorrow is our last day of this particular workshop. You got one more day of the challenge. So how to get over all or nothing thinking and am I nutritarian enough? Remember, if you share this video and let me know in the comments that you shared it, I will shout you out on this live video while we're here, okay? All right, so we're going to jump into it because we got a lot to talk about today. It's so weird. My iPad always says 9:41 a.m. and it's clearly not 9:41. It's so funny. It's okay, Carrie. I'm so glad to see you. And hi, Con Marie. Good morning. Okay, so all or nothing thinking. This comes up in coaching so much more than you would expect, I think. I'm going to move this out of the way because I need to turn on my little hot flash fan real quick. It comes up in coaching so much more than you would expect. And it's interesting that all of the topics that come up in coaching, so many people think that they're the only ones with that issue, right? But I think we all, literally 100% of us suffer from this all or nothing thinking idea, right? This is similar to perfectionism, where you're thinking like, I have to get it right, or I might as well not do anything at all, right? All right, Rochelle, thank you. Thank you for sharing to Facebook. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Helps other people get to know this information as well. So perfectionism, all or nothing thinking. If I mess up, I should just quit, right? I might as well just eat all the things. I might as well just go completely off if I mess up a little bit, right? Might as well. This is all or nothing thinking, right? It's like, if I'm not 100% on, I might as well be all the way off. And I'm just going to break this down for you visually today. So hopefully it will spark some other thoughts. And let me know what comes up for you as I'm illustrating this, okay? But first, what I want you to do, we're talking about all or nothing thinking, right? So the problem with all or nothing thinking is with all of the issues that we have, cravings and stress and overeating and stuff like this, binge eating perhaps, with all of this stuff, we tend to just like let it fester and like bubble and be this like dramatic thing happening in our heads that we're kind of only half paying attention to. We're kind of like, like just sort of like, well, I'm not doing so good, but whatever, I'm busy, You don't really pay attention to it very much. And that's the main issue. When we don't pay attention to what we're doing, it just continues to spiral. And then we make up a bigger story about it in our head and it gets worse and worse. But it's when we actually look at it, like fine tooth comb, do thought downloads, open it up, get coached on it, figure out what's happening, that we can start to actually cause change. So the first thing that I want us to do, hello, I don't know who you are, because we got a couple Facebook users in here. Let's see. And yeah, Conray says she's on holiday, so she's struggling with this thought for sure. So the first thing that I want us to do is I want us to define what is success and what is failure. Because that's the thing, is like when we're going about this and we mess up even a little bit, we're like, oh, I'm done. I totally fell off. This is terrible. Right. And we make it as if we went 100% off track for like 10 years. And that's how we feel about it. And we actually didn't. So the first thing that people fail to do is even defining what success or failure is. Meaning like, and I ask this question all the time on the strategy calls, and you'd be so surprised at how many people haven't really thought this through and just kind of clarified what their goals are, right? Oftentimes people will say things like, oh, I just want to be more healthy. Oh, I just want to lose weight, right? I just want to feel better. I just want more energy. Now that might seem that might seem not super vague, but it's actually super vague. Like healthy, what does healthier mean? Right? Lose weight, what does that mean? So, like, if you lose a quarter of a pound, you're done? Feel better. How much better? Um, More energy, what do you mean? Like 10 minutes less nap per day or no naps at all, right? So what we need to do is actually put a number to it. Put a number to those goals and that characterization of what we want. Because if it's vague, we're not going to we have almost zero chance of um, attaining it if we don't even know what we're going for, right? It's like if you're going to get in your car and go, "Oh, I'm going to drive to, I'm going to drive to the store." Okay, which store? Right? You could be driving to a store all the way across Henderson, or it could be the store right down the street. But if you don't know the directions of where you're going, like there's no way you can put that in a GPS. You're just like, store. Your GPS is like, which store? Is it a grocery store? Is it a craft store? Is it a hardware store? Right? If you haven't defined what you're actually going for and what you actually want, there's no chance you're going to get there. Now, I know it's coming up for some of you. You're like, but I'm afraid to define it because what if I jinx it? Right? As if that was a thing. Actually, it's the opposite in my belief and in my experience. When you define something and you put a number to it and you're like, I want to make this much money in the next 5 years. Now your brain can go to work on how to solve that issue. Even if it doesn't know how to do it now, that's okay. But your brain starts to go to work on it because it knows where you're headed. So we have to, first of all, especially when we're doing this all or nothing thinking, we have to define what success and failure even means. We don't even have to define failure, but we for sure have to define success. What would that be? So when I'm on these strategy calls with people, I'll ask, if I could wave a magic wand and you could become like seriously magic, if I could just like magically turn you into any percent nutritarian, right? Or like, how much junk food would you want to eat? Or how much nutritarian would you want to be, right? Would you want to be 75%? Would you want to be 95%? And it's so surprising how many people haven't even thought of that. They haven't even considered, like, what does healthy mean, right? So define that for yourself. You might not believe that you can get there yet. That's not what we're talking about. All we're talking about is creating a goal. You don't have to believe that you can get there just to have a goal. You can define the goal first and then work on the belief that you'll get there. That's what we do. That's what we teach you, is how to have those goals, how to hold them in your heart and start to believe that it's possible for you. So for instance, let's say you want more energy. Quantifiably, how much energy do you want, right? Like, is it, I don't want to have to take naps in the middle of the day anymore. Or instead of a 1 hour nap in the middle of the day, I want to take a 30-minute nap. Or I want to feel rested when I get up in the morning, right? Or I haven't been able to exercise. I want to be able to exercise again, at least going for a short walk every day, right? So we're quantifying, like, I want to be able to do a half a mile walk every single day, whether that's outside or on a treadmill or whatever. I don't have the energy for that right now, but that's what I'm looking for. Okay, that would be ideal for me. Or perhaps you're a little bit more, you have more energy. So you're like, I want to be able to do a 4 mile walk every day. But right now you can only do a mile or something. So we want to find out where we can get this energy from. We want to, but now you see the difference between going, I just want more energy, to saying, like, I want to be able to do a 4 mile walk every day, or I want to be able to do a half a mile walk every day. It's so much different than saying, like, I just want more energy, or I want to be able to only take a half-hour nap every day, or I don't want to take naps anymore. I don't want to have to take naps anymore. When it's quantifiable, now you got something to work with, right? Now you can actually work towards that. And the cool thing, it maybe if you haven't done a lot of goal work before, that you might not know, is what happens when you have a goal. Your brain starts, we talked the other day about what feelings we need in order to create the results that we're looking for. Your brain starts to get curious. The feeling is curiosity, is like, okay, so right now I'm taking an hour-long nap every day, but I want to get to a point where I don't need naps at all. You don't know what that is yet, but now you've at least done your goal, right? You're like, okay, now I have a goal, no naps. I'm just going to put this on paper here. All right, so you say, all right, my goal is no naps. Like what you want is more energy, but you're going to be able to prove that that has happened by knowing that you're not having any naps anymore. Now you have a quantifiable goal to work towards. You don't have to know how to do it yet. You just have to start with having the goal. Now what happens is when you put those goals on paper, or you actually quantify them and put a number to that, now your brain starts to get to work on looking for solutions, because what you're coming from, curiosity. What you're coming from is curiosity, and not like depression or hopelessness or like certainty that you'll never make it, right? You're not like swimming in confusion or like, I don't even know how to get more energy or whatever. You're just like, okay, this is my goal. Now let's figure out how to do it. So your brain starts, like when you ask your brain a question, our psychologically, we have this thing called closing the loop. We have a very strong psychological need to close the loop on a question that has been asked of us. It's why subject lines and emails are always like, how to do this, or this is the one thing you're missing, because the brain wants to close that loop. It wants to answer the questions. It's why cliffhangers work on TV shows, right? Like your brain wants to close the loop. So it's like, what happened? What's going to happen? That's why Netflix is so bingeable, right? And these TV series are so bingeable because they're doing that on purpose. They're opening a loop at the end of the TV show, and you have to just press play so you can see what happens to close that loop, right? When we ask our brain questions, it's like, I got to figure this out. You keep asking yourself that question. I wonder how I could get more energy and not take any naps anymore. You start working on that, right? Okay, so that's like kind of that was a tangent about goal setting, but it is really important to understand even what you're talking about by all or nothing thinking, or like, what does mess up mean, right? Or what does quit mean? It's really, really important to have that stuff in mind first, so you can define when you're really off track and when you actually are not doing that bad. Like maybe you just messed up a little bit, but not so bad, right? Yes. So Carrie says failure is quitting completely and not trying the next meal. Well, yes. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be failure, though. That's what I want to define, is that doesn't have to be your definition of failure. If that's your definition of failure, I would say that that's a pretty strict definition of failure. But we get to define what failure is. So we could say that failure is going off track for 2 years, for instance, right? Like just being like, I'm not a Nutritarian anymore. I quit. I'm going to try something totally new. You could define that as failure as a Nutritarian, right? You could define, say I go off track for 6 months, that could be failure or whatever. You don't even have to define what that necessarily means, failure, because you could say, like, instead of defining what failure is, you could define what success is in a very loose way. And we'll talk about this in a second when I say when we go to the am I Nutritarian enough lesson. This idea of, if we just define success as something that's attainable for us, it's kind of like training wheels, right? Like, cool, we're successful right now and we're going to get to that next level. So if you say failure is not even trying the next meal, well, maybe you're not ready to try at the next meal, right? Now, that might be failure for you, Carrie, because you've been doing it so long. But for other folks who are maybe just starting out, that could be the training wheels level. It's like, it's a few weeks off means I'm pretty off track. I want to get back on, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be that next meal, just one meal, right? And I'll show you that visually here in a second too. That's good, Victoria. Lower blood pressure. So give yourself an actual physical numerical goal for that. What is ideal for you? Are you saying like 120 over 80 for sure? Just define it, right? Just have that number there. Yeah, a specific protocol to shoot for is so helpful for me. Yeah. And then Chantal says the whole idea of needing to always strive for nutritional excellence tripped me up before. Now I'm too relaxed, so we need to find some middle ground. Right. And so that we need to define what that success means for us, because maybe the term nutritional excellence, right? Maybe that's too much right now, right? Like in general, maybe that's too much for you. Maybe you never want to be like this sort of ideal nutritional excellence kind of a thing. Maybe you have your goal is to be like 80% nutritarian or 70% nutritarian or whatever. And like maybe your goal is you want to have dessert every day, right? But maybe you want it to be a healthy dessert or something. But that can still be, your version of nutritarian. I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but it's embedded in the marketing and the idea of nutritarianism that you have to be a certain level to earn that status of a nutritarian. I'm going to challenge that a little bit in this presentation, because just as Chantal is demonstrating here, when we're like white knuckling for something, that creates the white knuckling feeling, that like stress, whatever, nothing good comes out of that, right? What we actually want is to feel calm, peaceful, curious, confident, about our food. That's what we want. And we can only do that when we've defined what works for us in our life. And then striving to become okay with that no matter what happens in our life, and having grace, right? Like offering ourselves grace when things don't go perfectly, that kind of a thing. That's the work, right? Sheila says, I started about a month ago. I already feel better. That's so good to hear. Welcome. Welcome to the club. And Deb says, when I was starting my weight loss journey, my goal was to get within the healthy BMI range. See, that's a great quantifiable number. And you define what healthy BMI range is for you, right? So there's the government's version, which is a BMI of 25 to 19-ish. And then there's Dr. Furman's version, which is like 23 to 19-ish. You define where that is for you, right? Maybe your first goal is 10 pounds within the government regulation, right? And then maybe your second goal is within the government, within a 25 BMI. And then maybe later, once you've wrapped your mind around it a little bit more, is to get within Dr. Furman's BMI range, which is a 23, right? And then maybe it's to get to his ideal, which is for women around a 21, 20, something like that, right? So you can take these things incrementally too, as your brain adjusts to the idea of getting closer and closer to the perfection, right? But just getting closer and closer to a version. And you're not doing this by white knuckling, I'll remind you. You're doing this by becoming calm, confident, secure, and loving yourself, right? That's the basis of everything. We have to do it that way or it won't last. Yeah. Sarah says, I learned I can do new things like using an Instant Pot. And that's the thing, is as we're learning all these new things, and we're expanding our knowledge, we're expanding our self-love, we're expanding our understanding of our patterns and our our issues, our struggles and things like this. All of it just gets easier, but we have to have those goals defined first. Hey, Sarah, so glad to see you from Sacramento, Eat to Live family member. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little bit visually. This is my favorite way to think of all or nothing thinking visually, because as I was saying in the beginning, we kind of just like relegate it to the back of our mind and we don't really think about it. But I want you to like think about this in a picture so that you can see just how much perhaps you beat yourself up. Okay, so we're talking about being on or off track. So I'm going to define on as filled in. Okay, so this is on. Can you see that one? That's not very dark. Let me get a darker one. Let's do this one. Okay, so that means on track. Okay, and then of course, this one then would mean off track. So let's say Sunday was good. We did well pretty much all day, right? And then let's say Monday, we did well too. But then by Tuesday, we got really stressed out and we didn't do so good. Wednesday, say we did that pretty well. Thursday we did well, but then Friday and Saturday and Sunday, kind of everything went off the rails because it was the weekend, right? But then Monday came around and we did better. We did good on Tuesday, but then let's say we got stressed out on Wednesday, didn't do so good. And then let's say the whole rest of that was bad, except for maybe like part of Saturday, right? And then let's say we were like, oh, I'm so sick of being off track. I'm going to do a 5-day challenge. So Monday rolled around, you did a 5-day challenge with us. Let's say you did pretty good for 4 days in a row. And then the 5th day kind of fell off the wheels. Saturday you did well. And then Sunday not so well. And then let's say, you have a couple more good days here. Now, what we're saying with all or nothing thinking is that right here, because we didn't do so well on Tuesday, we're just going to go completely off track for all these rest of the days, right? Now, if this is our thinking, when we think all or nothing in this way, we have just missed all of this possible good stuff, all of these possible nutrients that we could have gotten had we just been like, it's okay, I'm just not perfect yet. We would have missed all that effort. And so what you're telling me is that all of this effort is not even worth it. Like, it's not even worth doing all of this just to, like, is your body mad that you had a few days of nutrients? No. Your body's like so happy to get any nutrients it can get, right? So like, even when we're going off track and we go off track for the whole weekend, for instance, our body's not mad that we ended up getting back on track and doing this. And it's not mad that it only had, like, if we look at this week right here, 4 good days and 3 off days, is our body mad that we had 4 good days? No, it's like, yes, thank goodness. Let's just give me whatever you can. Right? Even if some of this eating over here was poor and it made you feel really bad and, and you're just not feeling, you lose your energy, maybe you feel like you're losing your progress or whatever. The thing is, like, your body is still happy that you did that. And if you actually, like, now let's just sort of tally this up. Okay. So we've got, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We've got about 14 decent days out of, what is this? So 28. Is that right? 4 times 7? Yeah. So that's 50%. Right? You did 50% well. Is your body mad that you did the 50%? No, it's like, sweet. Let's just keep working on that. So now we do this and then let's say we do this again. And here, one thing I want to show you here is, like, this day you had this one you had 4 days. This one you only had 3, but then look at this, you had 5. So all in all, you're starting to get better and better because you can actually hold 4 days in a row now. Whereas this week you couldn't do that many days in a row. This one, you couldn't do that many days in a row, but then you got 4 days in a row. So what if it's like, because of that, then you start to get pretty good at it. And now it's like you can do 5 out of 7 days pretty well. Here's the thing though, what always ends up happening is we're focusing on these days and not these days, right? We feel like this is all or nothing thing, is this true perfectionist thing. Like, because we didn't get every single one of these days, might as well get 0 days, right? Might as well just completely go off track. And when we focus here on how we feel and how terrible we are, and there must be something wrong with us because I can't get it perfect, we're completely missing all the good stuff that happened here. And the fact that we were actually learning. This is like, I always talk about this, like, it's like learning to play the piano, right? Like, when you start off playing the piano, all you're doing is just playing these scales, right? Like da 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 da, right? And you're just playing these scales because you don't know how to play music yet. And in the beginning, you're terrible at playing scales, and then you start to get really good at playing scales. And then it gets really boring. So then you're like, I need to learn how to read music. So you start to learn how to read music, so you can play any song you have music for now, right? And so you start learning that. Your fingers, your muscles, your connections between your hands and your brain are going faster and it's getting easier, but you can read this music now, and it takes practice and all that. And then there's a point where you can sight read. Like you've never ever seen a piece of music before and they put it in front of you and now you can just play that song because you have practiced it so much. That's what the learning process is, right? And so of course, you're going to have these off days. These are just missed keys, right? It's like just, oh, my fingers fumbled a little bit. And when we're learning to play the piano, it doesn't feel that life or death. But because we're putting Eat to Live on such a high pedestal of, if I don't get this right, I'm going to die. That's where we start to get so discouraged if we're falling off track. But what we want to actually be looking at is the long game, right? So we want to be looking at all of this and not just this. We want to be looking at the last 5 years and how did we do overall? Are we overall getting better? And that takes awareness, as I was saying before, of knowing when we're beating ourselves up and expanding our vision in that moment, expanding our viewpoint, our vantage point of going like, okay, I'm only thinking about what I did yesterday, but what I really want to be thinking about is, like for me, for instance, when I mess up, I always think, oh, this is terrible. Why can't I get this? I mean, I have a whole website about this. Shouldn't I be perfect? Right. And then I think to myself what I was like 2 years ago when I came off of the twins' pregnancy. And I was just eating Starbucks all the time. You couldn't pay me to eat a salad. I was like downing Jif peanut butter like it was water. And I look at the difference between that and this, and I'm like, whoa, this is huge. I'm actually really satisfied by vegetables now. Like for breakfast, I had a big bowl of vegetables. Like, who is this person, right? Especially compared to the one from 2 years ago. I'm making that progress again when I expand that viewpoint of it instead of just looking at the last couple days, okay? Yeah, for sure. Victoria says, I focus on the bad days instead of the good ones. Exactly. And RG says, I did Nutritarian for 3 months, but then couldn't keep it after getting pregnant. It worked for those 3 months, lost 20 pounds. Trying to get started and keep going again after 3 years and 2 babies. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. That's my life too. I've had 3 kids in the last 5 years, twins, and the same exact thing. You fall off track during pregnancy, totally understand it. I actually started vlogging after the twin pregnancy, just a few months after they were born, to show how I went and lost the weight and how I got more and more consistent. That's in the Eat to Live family. There's hundreds of videos. I've been doing that vlog for a couple years now, to describe how I actually got back on track. And I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Like, spoiler alert, it's literally all up here. It's your thoughts. It's the fact that you're thinking it's hard to get started again and that sort of a thing. So you need a specific system, a program, very simple, that will help you start to make these shifts. And that's what we teach in the family. And Rochelle says, I've learned that if I have to white knuckle to do something, I'm not ready to sustain that behavior long term. That's exactly right. We will not sustain it if we're white knuckling it. Like and then we may be like, well, I can do this for like a year or something. Cool. But like, that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for decades, right? We're not looking for a year or 6 months. We're looking for decades. We want 40 more years of this. It's a long time. We want 50 more years of this. It's a long time. We need to find the solution for how to keep stretching the good days, the good stretches. We need to just keep stretching that out and getting better and better as time goes on, right? So we start off at 50% perhaps, and now we just look to get to 51%. We're not looking to get to 79 already or 97. We're looking to get to 51%. Like, let's just do a little bit better, right? This is we talk about these small shifts in my program as well, okay? Okay. Now let's see. That might have been it for. Oh, no. We got this other section here that we got to talk about. So, am I nutritarian enough? This is one of my favorite questions to answer, because so many people worry that they're not nutritarian enough, or for instance, they wouldn't fit in a community like the family or in like the my accelerator program, or even the private coaching or whatever, because they think, well, am I nutritarian enough, right? Do I fit in? But just as we defined earlier, the first thing we have to define is what we want nutritarian to mean. Okay, now Dr. Furman is going to give you a definition of nutritarian, right? And that is something like 90% nutritarian and 10% unprocessed whatever, right? That's Dr. Furman's definition. Okay. Great definition. Wonderful. It's going to give you the best health. It's not Dr. Furman's job to kind of like, you know, give you a pass or whatever. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about giving passes. I think that's might be kind of how he sees it. But the way I see it is let's define what is success for us personally, right? So does success mean 70% nutritarian? Cool. Done. Run it, print it. Let's do it. That's it. If success means 50% nutritarian, cool, right? Like let's say for instance, we have a circumstance where, and I mentioned this the other day too, like let's say we were raised in an Italian family and we have Sunday night dinners every Sunday or whatever, and we're expected to show up and we've got a lot of traditions and stuff like that. So let's say in the beginning here, we're like, I want to be nutritarian, but we got these dinners every Sunday night. And my mom always comes over and is bringing food and all this kind of stuff, whatever, right? So as we're starting out, perhaps the way that this looks for us is nutritarian. We can only do this maybe 4 days a week or 5 days a week, perhaps, right? But for sure on Sundays, we're going to be having a bunch of pasta, right? Now, let's say we're working this program, we're getting coached, we're working on getting more and more nutritarian. And within a year or two, we have our family trained to know that we're going to be having a salad on Sunday supper night, and you guys are going to be having all the pasta. And maybe I'm having a small portion of that pasta, whatever they made, but I'm having a big, huge nutritarian salad too, right? Can you see a world in which that could be possible if we trained ourselves and we trained our family to expect that this is what we're going to be doing? Maybe it's a little tougher in the beginning, but maybe we're getting better and better and better at it. After a year or two, the family just doesn't question your salad thing anymore because they're like, oh, she just eats a salad and then she'll have some of the pasta or whatever. Or maybe 2-3 years down the line, we have no more pasta and it's just salad and we're good. But like that can be our trajectory. So then what that is it's defined by us. It's defined by what we want. Now, I know some of you are like, oh, but I really have to do this now because of XYZ. I've got these issues. I've got to heal it right now, blah, blah, blah. I get that mindset. I get that sort of pressure in there. But what I want to challenge you to think is less about a negative thought of, ooh, I have to fix this thing or else, and more of a, if I didn't have that factor, how would I want to eat anyway? Like, what would be the best for my body? Not to fix the thing and not to prevent all occurrences of whatever in the future. It's like, how do I actually want to be fueling my body? Do I want to be fueling it with hot dogs and candy? Even if I didn't have that issue, right? Like I didn't have heart problems or, a family history of dementia or whatever it is. Would I want to be eating hot dogs all the time? Would I want to be? No, chances are probably not. I want to be eating vegetables. Great. If we know we want to be eating vegetables, now it's just, can we just get our mindset there? Notice how there's no fear in that. It's literally just a choice of how we want to fuel our body. How do we want to feel? Do we want swelling all the time? Do we want inflammation? Do we want to feel lethargic? We're working on this all the time and getting our brain to reprogram itself around how we want to feel ideally rather than what we're afraid of contracting or creating in our body, right? There's a very different energy between those two. It seems a little subtle, but it is a thought shift that can happen over time as long as we're working on it, okay? Yeah, that's right. There are no nutritarian police, as I always say. There are none. I mean, Dr. Furman might be judging you in his head, perhaps. I don't know what goes on in his head. But there are no police. None of us are going to judge you. I certainly will be the last to ever judge you on your eating. And you get to decide what you put in your body. So I get to create what my eating looks like. Bernie, okay, good question. So what about so many foods for me that trigger addictive cycles? Some, like alcohol, I can't toy with. That's the thing. Okay, so you're demonstrating my point exactly, right? How do I want to fuel my body based on what I know my body is like? right? So I tend to be the type of person who has an addiction to alcohol, or once I get started, it's harder for me to stop. So I have learned not to have any. That's your program, right? Great. That's your program. Say your thought is, I tend to be someone who, if I start having a little sugar, it's going to get out of control within a few weeks or whatever. So best to not have any sugar. Or maybe it's, I want to learn how to have just a little bit of sugar, or just a little bit of flour here and there, maybe this many times a week. And we practice that. And if we see it getting out of hand, we're like, okay, that didn't work out. Maybe sugar isn't the best thing for me. Maybe flour isn't the best thing for me. But what this is learning, and it's not beating ourselves up, right? In the case of alcohol versus sugar, it's a little different, right? Because alcohol can turn into a much bigger, more serious thing. But this thought work, we're using it anyway, whether we're, so there's a difference between going, saying things that are quite disempowering, like, I'm an addict, I can't handle alcohol, it's bad for me. If I have any of it, I will become an alcoholic again. That is one thought. That's one belief pattern, right? Another belief pattern, which would be the same exact actions, would be, I know that my body doesn't really disagree with alcohol because it makes me want to have some more. And I prefer not to have more. So I'm just not going to have any. What are the different feelings that come up from those two beliefs? The one is fear and white knuckling and, being just very afraid. The other one is acceptance, knowing, understanding. Okay. The acceptance, knowing, understanding one is going to be the one that lasts the longest. But notice they're both the same action, which is abstinence. Okay. It's about loving ourselves and loving who we are, loving the limitations that we accept for ourselves, that we create for ourselves lovingly, right? I call these loving rules. Like, I'm just not a person that drinks alcohol because I take it too far sometimes. I don't like how I feel when I take it too far, so I choose not to have any. Versus, I can't have it because if I have it, I'm going to go off the deep end, and this and this and this and this is going to happen, right? It's just a different energy. So getting to a place of loving ourselves, no matter what's right for us or not. So if we have found over time that alcohol is just not a good choice for us, cool. That's your new belief. That's where you're coming from. That's okay. Same with sugar or flour, right? Same kind of a thing. Like, I have found that I'm not that great with sugar. Once I get started, I do want to have some more. I don't like how I feel when I do that. So therefore, I'm not going to have it because I just don't like how I feel. I don't like how it feels to have a crazy mind wanting more and more and more sugar, right? I don't like it. So, but this level of understanding of yourself takes time to develop, right? And so this really is a lot about learning what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And then gently and lovingly accepting this about yourself. And just, this is just who it is. This is fine. Okay. So the question is, am I nutritarian enough? I'm going to give you all permission today to define what nutritarian means for you. Okay. I know this is going to be opposite to what Dr. Furman would say, but the definition that I like of nutritarian is somebody who wants to eat as many nutrients as possible. Okay. Oops. Someone, or we could say even strives, who strives to eat as many, I'm going to define this as micronutrients as possible. Okay. Now, this is the key part here, as possible, in strives, right? So like, even if we're a total beginner and we're not very good at it, you can still call yourself a nutritarian because you're working on it. You're going to get there. What we do and what I recommend is that everyone choose the diet, like the way of eating, the eating style, based on what health it affords you, what health it creates for you, and then figure out how to do it. But just, don't give up on the word nutritarian. You don't have to be 95% to get a card that says I'm a nutritarian. Like, there are no ID cards, right? There's no club. There's no nutritarian police. It's not a thing. Nobody's going to be judging you for how nutritarian you are. It's in your heart. Like, I really want to be that 100% at some point, or I really want to be 90% at some point, and I'm on my way there. I'm a nutritarian. I care about nutrients. It's my number one goal. I don't maybe do it perfectly all the time. That's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to answer this question for you very simply. Am I nutritarian enough? So for every single one of you watching this call, I don't know, replay, whatever, I don't know you from Adam, but I'm going to just say yes. Blanket statement, you're all nutritarian enough, especially to hang out at my table, right? You are nutritarian enough to be with me, to learn how to be more nutritarian. And that's all we're trying to do, is just how to get more and more and more nutritarian. Because when we're stressed about the percentage and we're stressed about how well we're doing and all that, we're going to fall off track. Yeah. Okay. And that's it. Victoria says, yes, I am nutritarian enough. I will strive more towards that goal every day. Nutritarian enough for you, right? You're at whatever level now, keep going. Con-Marie, I am someone who eats to fuel my body by eating lots of phytochemicals and nutrients as I can. That's it. Right, Chantal. I would like to eat the G-bombs whenever I can and when it's realistic, and don't worry too much about it either. That's it. Shelly says, it also get people to ask what that is. It's true, right? Like, then we can just start going on our soapbox and blabbing about it a little bit. Right? Vegetarian focuses on eating vegetables. Nutritarian focuses on eating for nutrients, right? So I'm giving you all permission. I'm just going to go ahead and sign this right here, so you know you've got my seal of approval wherever you are in your nutritarian journey. It's okay. And to be in the Eat to Live family, you can be any level of nutritarian, any definition of nutritarian that works for you today, right now in your life, the way it is. And you can sit at our table. Okay. So, do you guys have any questions about that? I want to talk a little bit about the Eat to Live family and what you get, because we're winding down on this presentation, right? The workshop is almost over. Tomorrow's the last day. And I really want you to join the family if you're not in there already. I'm going to tell you all the things that you get, because it's kind of crazy what you get for how much you're going to actually pay for it. But I also want to tell you that we're having a very special holiday workshop as well. I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. So let's talk about what you get when you join the Eat to Live family. Number one, as I have been cramming down your throat for the last couple of days, you get coaching. And that is the whole point for the Eat to Live family. There's 2 points. To get coaching so that I could coach. I created it because I wanted to be able to coach more people at once, not just private clients, but I wanted to coach. I wanted to make it affordable, and I wanted everyone to be able to join, right? So I wanted to be able to coach, give coaching, but also I wanted a community where we could all come together just like this and feel like, hey, we found our people, right? We're here, we're all together, we're all striving for the same thing, whether it's weight loss, healthy, consistent eating, that kind of a thing. So we can all come together and know that there's more than just one of us, right? We're not just the only one in our neighborhood who eats this, right? So when you join the Eat to Live family every month, you get 2 calls per month with Sherry. So these are group coaching calls. Anyone can come on the coaching call and get coached by me one-to-one. It's kind of like private coaching, over only everyone's watching it. It's hot seat style coaching. So you can learn, you can really drill down into your own issues. Okay. Also, Nancy and Lydia each do 1 call per month as well. Usually it's just a full coaching call, and they're fantastic coaches as well. But this quarter, they're happening to do a very special holiday workshop. So I'm really excited about that. So you get 2 calls a month with Sherry. You get a private and 1 to 2 calls with Nancy and Lydia, which are kind of like bonus calls. You get a private network. It's not on Facebook. Right? Thank God. Some people actually did a poll a couple times, like, are you glad that the Eat to Live family is not on Facebook? And like it was like 90% or 95% of the people were like, yes, thank God, thank God it's not on Facebook. It is its own private social media network. So it's like Facebook. So when you sign in, you got a feed, and you can access all the members and talk to them and message and things like that. You guys can post about stuff. We do live videos. Sometimes we do the coaching calls and stuff. Everything's housed in there, but it's totally private, just for family members. Okay. So you get 2 calls a month with Sherry. You get a private network. You also get 21-day challenges each quarter. And so that's just like the 5-day challenge that you're doing right now, only it's brand new recipes, 21 full days of grocery lists and meal plans and recipes and all that every single quarter. And there's a bunch of them in there right now that you can access when you first sign in. Okay. Yay, Chantal. Look at everyone is so happy about this. Chantal says, probably no surprise, but I'll be joining again. I'm so glad. And look at all the family members who are cheering her on and so excited. Yay, Chantal. The family is definitely my tribe. Agreed. You guys are my tribe too. I just love you so much. And we're so supportive. That's what I love so much about this. Yeah. Facebook user says, I really appreciate your reply. I've never done anything like this. No groups, Facebook, etc. Wasn't sure if anyone could see my comment. Yeah, you're so welcome. And this is what the family is like. And it is, because most of the people in the comment section are family members, always cheering each other on and just loving on each other. I know I'll be so glad to see you too. Chantal is in Amsterdam, Denmark. Which one? Over there in Europe. Denmark, I feel like it is. I'm trying to think. Which one? Yeah, and be pleased, hubby liked your eat to live food. Yeah. Diana says, thank you, Michelle, for reminding me about the basics G-bombs. Now I have a plan. Yep, for sure. So 21-day challenges. So you can try new recipes. You can learn sort of the rhythm of eat to live. So that's included. You get, now I have 2 sort of signature programs. One of them is called the 1 Pound Down System. 1 Pound Down System. This is the step-by-step. It's just 3 simple 3 steps to teach you how to lose weight, to feel awesome, what to eat, how to eat it, how much of it, how to feel satiated, how to harness your emotions and your thoughts in order to create your results. It's just 3 steps. It's super simple, called the 1 Pound Down System. This is the system I was telling you about the other day that Teresa is using to lose 33 pounds in the last like 6 or 7 months. All you need is this system. I'm telling you, this system for the rest of your life is all you need. The beauty of the 1 Pound Down System is that it relies on stuff that's within you. So you don't need like apps or tracking points or anything like that. It's just what I call the triple H, which is your head, your heart, and your hunger. Those 3 things you will learn how to harness in the 1 Pound Down System. This is like it's the quick start program. So when you, it's only like 5 hours of content. When you join the family, this is the first thing you get like sort of dumped into. Just watch that. You've got the program. You know exactly what to do. Start practicing that, get coached on it, and you will have the same results as someone like Teresa. Okay. So you get access to that 1 Pound Down System. You also get access to the expanded, like greatly expanded version of the 1 Pound Down System, which is my Eat to Live Academy. And that's an 8-week course. It's like an 8-week digital coaching course. So you can learn all about expanded concepts in the 1 Pound Down System of self-love and worthiness and how to create protocols, how to eat to live, all that kind of stuff, right? What else do we have? We have my weight loss vlog, which I was telling you about. I've explained exactly how I've gotten to this weight, how I've been coaching myself in order to do that from my pregnancy, not wanting to eat salads and being totally grossed out by salads to like having salads every day now. So I explained all of that, and there you get access to all of that. Recipes. Everyone does the challenges together, which, by the way, for those of you who are in the family, we're trying to have the 21-day challenge available for you this week so that you can start it on Monday. But if we don't get it by Monday, then you'll be able to start it the next Monday. Okay, family members? So you get access to all of that. What else, guys? What else am I missing here? I have a list here. We start weight loss. Oh yeah, daily accountability. We have a VIP program. All right, we have a success path. I mean, there's so much stuff. The success path is really cool. It tells you exactly how to go through the materials in the family so you don't get overwhelmed, to take you right to those results you're looking for, okay? There's a VIP program where if you've been in for 6 months, you get a free mini urge jar, which is a tool that we use to learn how to reduce cravings. And if you've been in for a year, you get an additional coaching call with me every month, which is pretty amazing because it's really fun because we actually don't record it. So like no holds barred. We can say anything we want. And sometimes we get a little crazy in there. Sorry, I was really thirsty. Sorry about that. I was like, gulp, gulp, gulp. Yes, past challenge recipes. That's right. So we've got a bunch of previous challenges in there. I always forget. Yes. Vlog, Academy, the recipe book. We're working. I need to get more organized about getting that filled in. But in the family, there are like 2 years now of recipes that we all love and we've been contributing and sharing and stuff. Oh yeah, Rochelle loves the Academy. She says the Academy was so helpful. She listened to it on the go. Very easy to listen to that stuff on the go. Facebook user says, I'm definitely looking into it, waiting to see the cost. Have no idea of the cost. It's very, very affordable. It's like a gym membership this time. It's crazy. I'm just going to tell you because I might as well. It's only $49 a month. Like, it's insane. Usually, for the last year, we've been charging a join fee of $297 to join. And then it would be $49 a month, but we're waiving the join fee this time. Okay, so it's super, super, super affordable to join. Come and go as you please. So cancel if you want to. You can stay in for a month and be done, and then cancel, or you can stay. Most people stay for 6 to 12 months because there's just so much content, so much to practice and get coaching on. I could charge $49 a month and it wouldn't even cover the value of one coaching call, and you get all this stuff, right? It's insane. Yeah, we share individual challenges with each other. Let's see what else. Carrie says, I'm in the family and they have helped me when I discovered I needed to change my diet from traditional nutritarian to my dietary needs. Yep. Please come join us. We would love to have you in there. Yeah, Netherlands. That's right. I knew it. I don't know why I always think in Denmark, but pretty close, right? Let's see what else. Yeah, so that community aspect is so wonderful. Oh, that's right, Rochelle. Private chat too, if you want a one-on-one conversations with anyone that's in the family. And there's group chat too, so you can have smaller group chats with folks. Interactive forum for chat threads. Yep, so everyone can talk together and comment. We also have every day we have an accountability post, and a bunch of people post on there, like holding themselves accountable for what they want to do that day, what they want to do that week, what their goals are, current weight, starting weight, whatever, if you want to track weight loss, stuff like that. Conmarie says the family is amazing. I love everything. I'm a founding member. Yeah, founding members there's a bunch of you guys in here right now. Carrie, are you a founding member too? You are, right? Founding members are folks that have been in since the very first launch when we first opened, which was January, February of 2021. So it's been, it's like, it just makes my heart want to explode thinking that, because I know you guys now. Like, I feel you really are my family and I feel so close to you. We've been through so much together now. We've been through my whole cancer journey and everything. And I have been through so much with you and your lives. It's like, it really is like family. Yeah, there you go. Melissa is a founding member as well. Yep. Carrie from day one. Yes. Include Rochelle. You are like, oh my gosh, I love you so much. You're always like keeping me on track, right? Past coaching calls, so you can review content. Literally since January, February of 2021, we have every single coaching call we've ever done is still in there. So it's like the best education you can possibly access. Shelly says, I'm excited, no join fee, going to try very hard to join. Wait, hold on. As your coach, I have to say, what the heck does that mean? Going to try very hard to join? Why don't we just say we're going to join, find $49 somewhere? Like, let's just not get Starbucks a couple times, or let's cut back on how much meat we use for a week so we can join. It's not that much, right? And look how much you get. All that coaching, like ever had therapy or something and it costs like, $50 an hour, $100 an hour, and that's for like 1 hour. And look at all you get for $49. What if it was the thing that you needed to flip that mindset towards weight loss or towards healthy eating, right? What's with the non-committal going to try very hard? There we go. I got her. I will. She said, woohoo! I got her, guys. I got her. Rochelle says, Join monthly to try it, cancel anytime. You only have to do it for 1 month. If you don't like it, it's fine. But I promise you, most people stay in for 6 to 12 months. You're going to love it. It's amazing. Just find a way, just get rid of something that costs $50 a month, sell an old iPod or something. Melissa says Shelly is going to have a yard sale this weekend. Exactly. Just sell some stuff. Like, it's fine. Yeah. And Rochelle says, I get the part about money being tight, but there's no gimmick. There's no risk. We already love you too, Shelly. We can't wait to have you in, guys. So look out for Shelly Hughes when it happens, and let's give her the old family welcome, because it's so much fun, right? Carrie says, my dad used to say to me, either you try or you do. Trying isn't doing. That's right. And didn't Yoda also say, there is no try, only do? Isn't that what Yoda said? Come on, guys. Melissa, you know what Yoda says, right? What did he say? Con Marie says the family was the key to sticking to plant-based nutritarian. Huge, huge. I mean, for $49, if that's going to help you stick to nutritarian, isn't that worth it, right? Like, wouldn't that be worth everything? We say either you invest a little bit now, right? Either you invest some time and some funds now, or you're going to invest it later with doctor's appointments and missed work and feeling lethargic and having to take all these naps, right? Just imagine the nap thing alone. What if you could reduce the amount of naps you need to take for the next 10 years because you're paying $50 a month right now? How much time in your life are you going to get back just by not having to nap and having more energy and getting stuff done that you want to get done? Isn't that just worth it? Like, what if this was the thing, the key to help you learn how to be consistent? What if this was it? And what if, being non-committal about it means you never actually learn the stuff that it takes, which is all up here. Remember, it's not meal plans. It's not challenges. I'm telling you, it's not recipes. It's not meal plans. If it was that, I wouldn't have had to make the family, right? There's a bazillion, majillion recipes online, and we all still have this issue. It's up here. So what if I could teach you what you need to shift in order to stay on track? Just saying, what if? There it is. I knew you were going to pitch in for us. Do or do not. There is no try. Yeah, thank you, Melissa. I knew you were gonna show up for this there. That's it, Rochelle. Thank you. Yeah, Shelly says I'm mouthy. I get all in. Good. We love mouthy individuals. Come on, it's gonna be fun. If you're going for a few months and leave and come back, will there be a join fee? I don't think so. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I know we're going to do something in January too to entice y'all to come in. I don't believe we're going to do that again. You can't quote me on it, but I don't think we're going to. At this time, if you leave, there's no penalty at all. Health is the real wealth. That's exactly right. This one I know. Rochelle is mouthy too. Yes, I know. I think I know what you meant. Is there a join fee when you come back? Yeah, I don't think we're going to have one. Been 15 days, down 11 so far. Dang, nice. Well done, Shelly. Let's keep it up. And we'll help you with the mindset part so we can be very consistent, right? Okay, the last thing I just want to talk about real quick is what we're going to be doing in October, November, December, which is a workshop. It's going to be super, super fun. As I said, Coach Nancy, Coach Lydia are putting on a holiday workshop. It's going to be October, November, December, 2-day workshop during the months, all about like how to survive the holidays, like have holiday success, right? And we're going to define what success is. We're going to, like we talked about, we're going to create goals, and we're going to teach you how to get to those goals as well. We're going to drill it together, figure it out, and there's going to be coaching involved as well. So that's going to be really great. Imagine joining the family, getting all the support that you need, having a team of coaches behind you. And honestly, the family members are a team of coaches at this point too, because we all know the program so well. This is very true, Melissa. We can't forget Con Marie when we talk about mouthy individuals. I love that we're just like a bunch of mouthy people. I guess I attract that, right? I'm so glad to hear that we're inspiring. We're so much fun. Yeah, it should be, Melissa. I think I had Jen put that up recently. I might have to add a little bit to it, but should be in there already because we're doing it. I think it's the 23rd and 24th of this month. And of course, the replays will be available. And then it's going to be in, I think, the beginning-ish mid-November and then beginning-ish mid-December too. So 2-day workshop each month. And so having support for the holidays to get through. And as I said, there's going to be some coaching as well. I wanted to just give a quick sort of case study about something that happened recently and show you how this might actually, I know I'm going over now. I was trying to stick to an hour. Today, I knew it was going to be a little bit longer because I had to talk about the family. And I want to just give a case study today. So just bear with me for another couple of minutes. I want to tell you about one of the Eat to Live family members. We're going to call her Gabby. I'm going to keep her totally anonymous because this, we talked about this in a call that is not recorded, but I wanted to just sort of talk about what came up and how you would relate this to healthy eating. Okay. So because we are all certified life coaches, Nancy, Lydia, and I are certified life coaches, meaning we're experts on Eat to Live, but we're also experts on how to coach you in life stuff, right? Relationships, money trouble, financial, job, whatever, right? Healthy eating and all that for sure. But like, because we're life coaches, death, grieving, whatever, we can coach in everything. And so somebody raised their hand to get coached on one of the calls recently. We didn't record it because it was a VIP call. She was talking about her mother-in-law, okay? And how it was tough for her. And some of you guys were on this call, so you'll remember this. But it was tough for her because she, God, racist, definitely mouthy. I love my people. So it was tough for her because she felt like she got on the call. She started talking about how terrible her mother-in-law was for various reasons, right? And so we took some time to coach through this issue and coach on her perspective of her mother-in-law and how she might be able to see it different. And I was telling you like a couple, like in the last couple of days, that's really what the coaching does. It takes you out of your head and helps you see things from a different perspective that you can't access just from your own brain, right? Having someone else help you see it from a different perspective accelerates your growth. It accelerates your movement and your progress. And so she was about to go to a family gathering a week or so later, and she was really, really like annoyed and frustrated about her mother-in-law. And it was this huge bone of contention. She brought up an issue from the past that was really irking her. And it was like a 3-year-old issue, still bothering her, still coming up for her, right? And I asked her about 5 or 10 questions about her mother-in-law. And I'm telling you, within 20 minutes, she completely shifted her thoughts about her mother-in-law. She just messaged me the other day to tell me that she did have an event with mother-in-law and all the family. And it went amazing. And she felt so good for the first time this whole time that she's known her mother-in-law. And she had a different perspective on her mother-in-law and could be kind and loving and actually had a great time with her at this event. Now, how could it be that I could shift something like that, which is deep-seated and held with so much frustration and anger within 20, 30 minutes? It's the coaching. It's the way that we coach. It's the system that we use, the model, the stuff that I taught you the last couple of days. How could it be that I could shift something like that for you that quickly? It's just magic the way we do it, right? It's just psychological magic. And when we can get good at that, getting coached and knowing how to coach ourselves and things, we just feel so much better. Now, how does this relate to healthy eating? And why would you get coached about your mother-in-law in a healthy eating group? Because emotional eating has to do with the mother-in-law. It doesn't have to do with anything else. Emotional eating has to do with the stress of your job. It has to do with the kids yelling all the time, or you got so many kids and it's so frustrating, or husband said this and it really bothered you, or hey, your family's out of town now, so now you can really binge and whatever. It has to do with our emotions. It doesn't have to do with the healthy food. It's not about that. It's about what happens when we get frustrated with mother-in-law and how do we deal with that, right? So you need a team that is working for you that's going to actually be able to help you navigate all of the waters of your life so that no matter what comes up in your life, it's like I always call it like a surfboard. It's like there's always going to be waves. There's always going to be tide. But if you're on a surfboard, it's all good. Like, you can handle anything. or perhaps a cruise ship, right? It depends on the storm, right? But if you have strengthened your resolve enough so that when these things come up, you can just ride those waves, that's all we're looking for. And we don't turn to food to make things feel better. That's what we're practicing. And that's what I teach you in the family. Okay. So if that sounds like something that you're interested, I mean, if you're just looking for recipes and meal plans, man, my YouTube channel is full of it. Great. If that's what you need, great. But if you want a community that's going to support you, help you grow, help you get to that next level, that is the Eat to Live family. Okay. And I'm telling you, the investment is going to be crazy affordable this time. You got to get in now. Okay. Yes, Diana, 100%. She asked, if I'm not vegan, would it still be appropriate to join the Eat to Live family? Absolutely. We have a lot of people who are not vegan. In fact, I am not perfectly vegan either. So this is not just a vegan group. Also, the nutritarian diet is not 100%, doesn't have to be 100% vegan either. Many people will be vegan in this group, but many people are not vegan. So completely 100%. We just have to want to sort of eat healthier. That's all we're looking to do, right? Melissa says, I have remembered her and that subject in my own life. Hopefully I handled things differently in my own life because of her and that call. Yeah. And we can just keep getting better on that, right? And just keep getting coached on that some more. And Rochelle says, because we can't control our circumstances, but we can control our thinking and therefore our feelings and therefore our actions and results. That's exactly right. Yes. And Rochelle, she's not vegan either. I don't consider myself fully vegan right now either. RG says it's all about being frustrated with people that do not support or understand. Yeah. And I can coach you on that too, right? That's a whole coaching topic in itself. And I can turn you around in 20 minutes on that one. That frustration that's inside of you, I can even that out. So there's zero frustration going forward and you just do what you got to do and they do what they got to do and it's all good, right? Even if it's a loved one that you really wish they understood you and could support you, I can coach you through that one too, right? Conmarie says, yeah, it's all tied together. I've been coached on many things other than food. Yep. Melissa says, I benefited from her being coached. The woman that I was telling you about remembered it and it changed me in a similar situation. That's so, so good to hear. Yep. And our thoughts are key 100%. And Rochelle says, I like how you called her Gabby. Well, yeah, I don't know. I had to make up a name because I don't want to call her out or whatever. But yeah, Conmarie, not always 100% vegan either. And Conmarie says she's also celiac and has IBS. So there is like a huge range of health frustrations that we're all dealing with and things that we want to create in our life. Like we don't want to get Alzheimer's and we want to make sure we have longevity and all that. This coaching really works on all of that to help you feel better and in turn eat better, right? Whew, that was a good one. Only an hour and 15 minutes. That's pretty great, you guys. I got to say, I'm doing pretty good. All right, that's all I have for today. Oh, look at some of these testimonials. And I'm just going to call her out. Carrie's this top one up here. I blocked out her name for anonymity, but now I just called her out. It says, Eat to Live family has everything you can imagine, all the camaraderie and support you could want. The mindset and the rest of the platform is applicable to all areas of your life, not just your food. It is life-saving and worth every penny. I love my family and we love you back, Carrie. Here's another one. I lost 4 pounds this week. This group has been my go-to when I had cravings to snack. I came here instead. Thank you, Sherry, for this family. Oops. Let's say her name was not Kimberly. You are awesome. Way to go. Sorry, I did block that one out. This person, I finally reached it. Intermittent fasting, several challenges in, and finally my lifelong goal, my firm and weight of 125. I'm so at peace with my food, which after years of disordered eating, I can hardly believe it. What a win. What a win. And that's where we're trying to get you, right? The recipes. Okay, this is for who was it that was a little on the fence there? What was it? Shelly, this is for you. The recipes and the challenges alone are worth the monthly price of the family membership. That mango dressing is insanely delicious. Right? And then this person says, I am amazed at all the work and thought you've put into this program. I am convinced that now I have all the tools I need to succeed at last. What would that be worth to you, right? Like, what is that worth to have all the tools that you need to succeed for the rest of your life? What would you pay for that, right? You're not going to pay much at this launch this next week. Okay. Yeah. Carrie says, Sunset, they will empathize with you in many ways. Believe me, it helps in so many ways. Sherry is so real, struggles and all that. You can trust her with your feelings. I'm so glad you said that. It's very true. I will honor and love you no matter what's going on or no matter what your perspective is, come join us. So looking forward to seeing you there. I couldn't agree more. Yeah, Gabby is like mouthy. Yeah, I would say Gabby might be a little bit mouthy too. Oops, my screen just did something weird. Yeah, Deb says you can even cry on a coaching call and nobody makes fun of you. Deb, do you have personal experience with that? Like in the last 2 weeks or so? I might remember you crying recently. Yeah, I mean, I just hold you in my heart. Like, I get it. This is so emotional. This is so important to us, our health and the way that we eat. It's such a personal thing. And when I coach, I don't know if you don't know this, but I have a tiny, tiny little meditation that I do before I come on every single coaching call. And it is, I am here to support you with love and perspective and never to judge. I sort of go through those thoughts in my head before I get on a call. No matter what call I'm doing, it doesn't matter what you're coming to me with. I'm here to hold it and hold space for you and help you see it in a different way so that it doesn't weigh you down as much. That's my whole goal. And I think I hit it pretty often, right? Yeah, this one. Oh, I didn't mention that one. Here. The family is like, I know this one was so fun for me to read when they said that. The family is like the third best thing that's ever happened to me. Third to my husband and my son. If you're on the fence, don't hesitate. Yeah, that's a pretty big one, right? Thanks for reminding me, Rochelle. You were like the best coach on my live coaching calls. You keep me so on track. I love you so much. Yeah, you might have cried recently. I don't know, maybe. You're welcome, Bernie. Thank you for being here. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm so glad that Chantal's getting in again. Okay, that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you so much for being here, my dear family members. I love you so much. I'll see you guys again really soon in the family. But yeah, just a quick recap. We're on our 5-day challenge right now. It ends on Friday. We're doing a 4-day live workshop. This is day 3. So tomorrow's the last day of the workshop. Then Friday's our last day of the challenge. Saturday, Sunday, we're all going to chill and hang out with our families or friends or whatever. We're just going to hang out. And then on Monday, Eat Till the Family opens up. Okay. Right at, I think it's like 8 a.m. Pacific is when we're opening. So make sure you join. Can't wait to see you in there and give you all virtual hugs. Love you so much. You're so welcome, everyone. And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know. Do you? Love you guys. I'll see you soon. And I'll see you tomorrow for sure. Hopefully I get to see you all again tomorrow. All right. Have a good one. Bye.